Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat for Career Mode. Today we go to Talladega, Martinsville, and ISM Raceway to decide the final four drivers that will remain in the playoffs and fight for a championship at Homestead, Miami. Today we started dead last at Talladega, obviously qualifying. You don't stand a chance here. It kind of feels like NASCAR Heat 3, they got the qualifying right, and then almost like they've reverted a little bit back to the NASCAR Heat 2 days where qualifying is really tough, so that's unfortunate to see, as well as I'm only running preset setups in these races, so that could also have something to do with it. But today, obviously, starting in the back, we come into this race, I think, just inside the Final Four, if I remember correctly, so hopefully we can come out of this race inside of the Final Four as well. But these first two stages or so are going to be really tough to get points, so we're going to need to rely on a really good final stage, I think, to be able to be in a good point situation there. As I would get to the inside there of Natalie Decker, as I would just continue on this opening stage to utilize this inside lane, and it would work very well as we would come through now towards the end of the final lap here in stage 1 on lap 2 of 2, up to P22 at this point, making a 3-wide move up the inside there of Austin Wayne Self as we go down through the trial. There you see Travis Quabble 3-wide in front of us between the 51, Joe Nemechek, and the 02 of Tyler Dipple. Now as we would come through to cross the line, we would get P18 in stage 1, so considering where we started, I was pretty happy with that, given that we just had 2 laps. Jennifer Jo Cobb wins the stage, not what you expect to see, but she gets the stage victory as we would get ready to start stage 2 from P18. On the outside lane, so obviously not what we would like to have, but obviously as soon as we get to the bottom, we'll be in good shape. Now as the green flag is back out, stage 2 is underway, and it's been a terrible restart for myself as the first gear shift into second just went really quick, like it caught me off guard. So then we lose a lot of time on this opening start here to start the second stage as we go down through turns 1 and turns 2. There you see the 24 Brett Moffitt on the outside. He's in the round of 6, just like us now as we come through the center of the corner, and Moffitt's the only playoff driver right now that is around us as we exit turn 2. Haley Deegan on my outside. We're going to try and use this side draft just to make sure that she does not get ahead so we don't lose any more positions, because every position matters at a time like this. But she would get ahead of me, but now as we came through to the final lap in the stage, we would be able to battle back to her inside as we came through turns 3 and turns 4. We would clear Haley Deegan, and now we got Grant Enfinger, Spencer Boyd side by side just in front of us. Crafton, a playoff driver, up on the top as well now as we come through out of turn 4. Actually, Crafton got eliminated from the playoffs in the last round now as we would come through the triangle, making it 3 wide with Enfinger. We would get clear of him coming towards the line here at the end of stage 2. We're going to come through to get an 11th place finish in the second stage. A very solid stage effort. Harrison Burton wins stage 2, and we would get ready to restart on the inside lane for the start of the third and final stage here at Talladega as we get ready to go green, and the green flag is back out, and we are underway behind the number 2 truck of Sheldon Creed there. And once again, just like stage 2, it's a very bad restart as the shift from first to second was so quick again that it completely caught me off guard. I was trying to be ready for it this time, but it still just caught me off guard, which was unfortunate. So we lose a bunch of ground that we had just gained at the end of the second stage on this inside lane. Now as Natalie Decker gets past me, we drop down to P18 as we come through on the exit of turns 2. There's Decker and Eckes side by side down the back straightaway. Now as we have Raphael Lessard just behind me side by side with Matt Crafton, but as we came through now in lap 11, starting to use that inside once again to make some passes as we had caught back up to these guys. It was just 6 laps to go at this point, running behind Ross Chastain. So we would get hooked up behind Chastain and continue following him through the pack. We had driven up inside the top 10 at this point, up to P6, passing Harrison Burton and the 99 of Ben Rhodes on the far outside. So moving forward pretty quickly at this point here, as now we make a move to the inside of Chastain on lap 14 with a draft partner from behind. Austin Hill is here to give us help as we go through turns 3 and turns 4 to the inside now of Gustine, right on the back of Grant Enfinger now as we exit turn 4 at that point, now coming to just 2 laps to go, approaching the final lap here in Talladega. Enfinger goes to the lead. We follow him through to get P2, 3 wide for second between Friesen, Creed, and myself as we would go through down towards the trial. But we have a drafting partner, like I said, of Austin Hill as we approach this white flag, and he is going to be the one thing that can help us because we came to a half lap to go. Enfinger still leading as we approach turn 3, but Hill giving me a bump. I let off the throttle to put a bit of a gap between myself and Enfinger because I know that Austin Hill is going to give us the push we need, and sure enough, he gives me the push, and now we close right up on the back back of Grand Enfinger as we come out of turn 4 for the final time. Here in Talladega, a chance to win our way into the final 4. We deke left and side by side with the 98 of Grand Enfinger down through the Tribal. Who's going to win it now? In Talladega, we try to push him up the track. Contact is made as we come through to the line. Enfinger wins it here in Talladega. Second place, still a very good result for us. The best of the playoff drivers here today in Talladega. This gives us a 16-point buffer right now after the Talladega. So now we would come straight to Martinsville here, the short track. The only short track, I think, that we have in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I guess ISM is kind of a short track now. As you get ready to go green, though, for Martinsville at the paperclip, the green flag is out, qualified in P8, so a very solid qualifying effort. Obviously, being on the outside, not very good. As we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2, Christian Eckes slides up the inside as we come through the center of the corner now. As we exit turn 2, hoping to build up the momentum off the corner, and sure enough, we would actually clear Eckes, so I'll get down in line just in front of him behind Matt Crafton as we go down into turns 3. Still trying to get used to Martinsville. Martinsville is a weird track in this game, especially with the braking. In trucks, it's alright, but when you get to the Cup Series, it gets pretty tough with the braking. So it's definitely a big learning curve at this track, but now as we came through on the final lap of the stage, only 5 laps, we had gotten nowhere actually, still running P8 as we went down into turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time, but every point matters, so I'm doing everything I can to clear Friesen, and sure enough, we get him at the line there to get P7 here in stage 1. Another solid result to start Martinsville. Ben Rhodes wins the stage. He is not inside the playoffs currently, but Ross Chastain's the best playoff driver in stage 1 as we would get ready to restart P7 as stage 2 is underway here at Martinsville. There you see a rival of Johnny Sauter just in front of us now as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2. I do love that they have those little indicators beside their names in this game. Now as we exit turn 2, heading down the back straightaway side by side with our rival of Johnny Sauter, we might be about to figure out exactly what this rival system could be like here in NASCAR Heat 4. Trying to pass Crafton, but I couldn't quite complete the pass on him, so we would be stuck in P6 with Sauter right on my bumper, and on lap 3, he gives me the bumper as we go through into turns 3 and turns 4 as he tries to shove me out of the way, and that's going to allow Sheldon Creed to get to the inside of both of us, and now Sauter shoves me again into turns 1. Out of the groove we go side by side with Johnny Sauter, 3 wide with him and Stuart Friesen, and Sauter's now going to put us into the wall down the back straightaway, and we have to check up and fall in behind him. So now we kind of know what the rival system is like. It's pretty much kind of like Heat 3 now as we go down into turns 3 and turns 4 on the final lap at this point, running down in P9 after that contact with Sauter. We would come through to cross the line to get P9 here in stage 2. So a little bit disappointing, but now we know exactly how the rest of this race is going to go if we can't get around Johnny Sauter. So it's going to be an interesting final stage as we get ready to go green. No pit stops, obviously. Now as the third and final stage is underway here at the short track of Martinsville as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2, 11 laps to go as we get in nearly into the back there of Stuart Friesen, the fellow Canadian, as we exit turn 2 side by side with the rival. They go 3 wide ahead between Friesen, Crafton, and Sheldon Creed as they go down into turns 3 and turns 4. Sauter trying to run me out of room a little bit there as we just about get clear of Crafton. We gain a good group of positions on this opening restart there, but as we came through now on lap 19, once again, Sauter giving us the bumper as he just completely shoves me out of the way. At this point, I have had enough of it. So now as we go down towards turns 1, we're going to send it in deep, and we take out Johnny Sauter as we go through turns 1 and turns 2. We kind of take out ourselves, but the caution flies, and we would get ready for a restart here in Martinsville. One of the big things from the NASCAR Heat 3 career mode was you guys always wanted me to stop taking my rivals crap because I'd always kind of let them push me around and not do anything about it. But with NASCAR Heat 4, we're kind of here to make that stop. We don't want to be taking their crap anymore. I want to just kind of say, okay, if you're going to mess with me, I'm going to just give it back to you now. So as we came through, we got through cleanly on the restart behind Johnny Sauter, but we were giving him the bumper every time I could as we went down through these corners, just not having his crap today here in Martinsville as we came to just 3 laps to go. Now approaching the final lap, still right behind Johnny Sauter and still in this 5th position. We've at least rallied to a top 5 now as we exit turn 2 for the final time here in Martinsville. A chance to maybe give Sauter a little bit of a bump now as we go down into turn 3. We hit him in the left side, sideways he goes. He would hang on to it there as we came out of turn 4, but that would actually bring out a caution and end the race about 4 seconds early, so nothing really would have gotten changed. But Ben Rhodes would come through to win the race. Short track tempers coming in today in Martinsville, but we come through with 37 points to the good going into ISM Raceway, so no concerns really at all going into this race.
Coming to the green, driver.
I noticed right away that my pace was not very good here at ISM Raceway. The green flag is out, starting from P16, and as long as Harrison Burton or Todd Gilliland don't win, we will make it into the Final Four. So that's all we have to rely on. Hopefully Harrison Burton can't drive his way through the field, and hopefully Todd Gilliland can't drive his way through the field as well, as we go through turns 1 and turn 2, being a little bit aggressive, trying to make it 3 wide. But like I said, I noticed right away the pace in this truck was terrible, and I also noticed that kind of the same tracks of NASCAR Heat 3 where I needed a custom setup are going to be the same tracks in NASCAR Heat 4 where I need a custom setup. ISM Raceway being one of them, Richmond being one of them, probably Chicago. I haven't really been able to tell in Chicago, but as we came through now, just straight to the final lap, you can see how off my pace was. Now as we go down into turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time, that truck getting very sideways after a little bit of contact with myself, but we would cross the line to get P15 in stage 1. That's still something I'm getting used to in this game, is just those settings I have at least, is the cars around me are pretty unstable with contact. That's the way it should be in my opinion, but I have to really still learn just to try and not get into the side of someone. Obviously I always race as clean as possible, but we get into some people just a little bit here and there, and it really unsettles them there, as I would take full advantage on this restart of the AI being a little bit slower there as we went down into turns 1 and turns 2 up the inside there of Matt Crafton just about, but now just once again, once we get rolling, the pace in this truck just falls way off. So definitely ISM Raceway, a track we're going to need a custom setup at here in the future as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4, just losing so much pace here in ISM Raceways. I just had nothing for these guys, as once again we would start to drift back a little bit there as I cut the dog leg, trying to get as much as I can out of it, but just didn't have anything for these guys as we were dropped to P13 on the final lap here in stage 2 as we went down through turns 3 and turns 4. Harrison Burton right behind me as Brett Moffitt would exit turns 4 to win the stage, and we would come through to get a disappointing again P13 here in stage 2. Todd Gilliland, though, not leading this race, and neither is Harrison Burton. So either way, this race can go as bad as it needs to go, and we can still make it into the Final Four. If they don't win now, as the final stage is underway, Gilliland, Burton both need to win their way in, and they have only 8 laps to do so here at ISM Raceway. Obviously, we're hoping they don't do that now, as we're going to go up the inside of Todd Gilliland as we go down through turns 1 and turns 2, getting all the way down under this yellow line on the apron. Obviously, ISM perfectly legal to do that now as we go down this back straightaway. We had gotten up into P10, but once again we would just fall off so hard as we came through on lap 19, approaching this 5 laps to go. We had dropped to P14 there, as it looks like Spencer Boyd sends it up my inside as we go into turn 3. He caught me off guard or something, and we would lose some more positions here as we would cross the line. Clay Greenfield would go through, and we would drop now down to P18 as we started this final lap here at ISM Raceway. But you can see on the track map, Brett Moffitt leading the way down the back straightaway, so we have no concerns in the world, because as we exit turn 2 heading down the back straightaway, Harrison Burton right in front of me, Todd Gilliland not leading as we go down into turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time here at ISM Raceway. Moffitt wins it, and Moffitt winning means we are locked into the Final Four as we come through with a very disappointing finish here at ISM Raceway. So not what we needed finishing results wise. We've had a strong playoffs, and then there's been a race or two that's been pretty rough. So we've gotten lucky though, and we are locked into the Final Four, and we're about to see the other 3 drivers in the Final Four. Brett Moffitt, Stuart Friesen, Ross Chastain are the 3 drivers joining us for a championship battle. So right here you see it's 2 Canadians versus the 2 Americans. So we're going to see how this goes. Can myself and Friesen put the Canadians on top? We'll have to wait and see how that goes. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very, very appreciated. In the next one, it's only going to be, I think, a 1-race episode at Miami to decide the championship. So I will definitely bump the race length up, and so that will hopefully be a fun one. And hopefully I don't need to run a custom setup there. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to do some experimenting. But yeah, that will do it for this episode. So who's going to win it? Myself, Moffitt, Chastain, or Friesen? I'm hoping myself or Friesen, since he's Canadian. So we would love to have a Canadian win the championship here. But that will do it, like I said, for this episode. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.